So what's the branch that you were on?
It's capture logic.
All right. Oops. Okay, let's go find it. Um, capture logic, and let's just go look at your tests. Is it model tests, controller tests?
Models.
Okay. Oh, look at all these.
The P
Bishop,
spec.
game.
Yeah, everyone's writing tests. It's awesome.
Listen, man, that is way awesome. That's awesome because it means you can commit code with confidence.
Yeah.
All right. So which ones are written by you?
So the describe move to at the bottom
Oh, in,
of P spec.
oh, P spec. All right. Oh, I
Sorry.
picked the right one. And then,
Yeah, these last three.
okay. Oh, these last three. All right, let's go up a little bit. Move to. Let me just go look at the model. Oh, okay. So you have a generic piece class, and then all the different types of pieces are like subclass, maybe?
Yeah, so we could use it more often because I'm guessing we're gonna be using these queries quite often.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so move to XY. So every piece has a destination. Let me just take a quick look at the schema.
Hmm.
So every piece is part of a game and owned by a user, and it has a position, a color. So what is this? Whoops. What is this destination instance variable here?
So that's basically the location that we're gonna be moving the piece. That's where it's wanting to go.
Okay, and that is that like a XY coordinate?
Yes.
Okay, or a tuple, or whatever they call that. Okay, so move to game pieces. Where? So this line is you're capturing whatever piece is there already.
Yeah, that's I'm just taking the coordinates of that piece, and then the next line I'm seeing if the 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 square is empty or not, and
Okay.
if it is, then I'm going to update that position. Uh, and there's all kinds of different ways I thought about using instead of the nil, but the nil method seemed to work best.
Okay.
And then see if the piece is wherever whatever square it moves to, if that color is equal, that piece's color is equal to the piece's color on that square. And if it is, if it's the same color, then uh, just return false, so it can't move there. Um, and then the last one is if it is not the same color, it's opposite color, then to update that piece's position and to that piece that it's capturing, update that piece's values to nil.
Because it's been captured.
Correct.
So that's how you indicate that a piece. Uh, okay, let me go look at the code. So the way that you can tell that a piece is captured is that its X and Y positions are set to nil.
That's kind of what I have temporarily. Yeah.
That's not that bad. I mean, it's definitely something you could.
Make better.
No, no. I mean, it's okay. It's like I'm not on the board, so my X is nil and my Y is nil, and
Nothing's
you
there.
could create another column to indicate that, like in play, make it a Boolean, but
Oh yeah.
you can get that from the XY of the piece. It's not. There's a case to be made that it's fine. So I wouldn't second guess it right now. There's a strong case to be made for like let's have as few attributes as possible. Let's not make more than we need, or let's not have attributes on our models that are derivative from other attributes, because in a sense that's like duplicating your code.
Oh okay.
You know what I mean? Like you have two different sources of truth on your model.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, I think it's okay. So let me just see if I understand this. So I'm a piece, and I receive this message: move to 5-5, and so the destination really is what's hard for me to understand here is like you're grabbing a piece, another piece as your. Oh, okay. So destination really is like, is that space occupied already? And if it is, there'll be something in destination.
Correct. Yes.
I see. So I would just focus on. I know this is like my thing, and sometimes I'm embarrassed by it, but I would focus on naming things a little bit more clearly. Because when you see the word destination, there's nothing about that word that tells me that I'm looking for a piece, and like for a destination to be nil, that's not conveying to me that there was no piece there, so you could do things like, let me just, like you could say, occupying piece or something like that, or we could come up with something better. I mean, it's okay to just piece already there, or whatever.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to be too fancy about it. And then you can say if, piece already there.
Yeah, I like how that reads. Yeah.
Is nil, So let's just play around with it and see if it reads better. So piece already there is equal to. Oh, so okay. And then you say, if it's nil,
then update that piece's position to where it wants to go.
Right, because there's nothing there.
And I don't know if maybe I should put it in a different order because,
Well, what are the three possibilities? One, opposing piece is there, right? Two, nobody is there. Three, what's this third one?
There's a piece there, but it's the same color.
Okay.
And then the piece there, it's the opposite color.
Okay. So if the piece is already there, all right, so we'll put this here, and then these are our three possibilities. If there's nothing there, then we update ourself to be there. That's what this is.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise, if the piece that's already there, if the color of that piece is my color, we return false. We don't do anything because that's an illegal move, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Otherwise, there's an enemy piece there, and we put myself there, and we put him into the side of the board. Okay, I see it. So yeah, so you could say, yeah, it's not bad. How many? Let's see how big this class is. Ooh, you got a lot going on here.
Yeah.
There's a couple hundred lines in this class. So let me delete this because now I understand what's happening. Okay, so piece. Let's see how we can do this. I would write 3 helper methods, okay? And the reason I like helper methods, we'll put them down in the private section of this class, is your helper method can be descriptive enough to just sort of explain what you're after.
Yeah.
So we can write a helper method and just say, and we'll put question marks at the end. So we could say, occupied by opposing piece, and then you pass in your coordinates, right? And then the answer to that would be game.pieces.where. Well, let me just copy
Now, no, Phil, someone did write, I forgot who it was, online, near the bottom of that. There's actually a method called space occupied.
Oh, there is? Oh, okay. I like that. Well, let's find that. Where is it?
A little bit further down. It's near the bottom. It's 177.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Space occupied. Okay, so we'll use that. Okay, so we'll say the problem is you have to check the color. But let me go back to that, to the bottom. So space occupied. I like this.
Yeah.
Okay. You see how
I wish I could just call that onto the first if statement. But
yeah, I think we can. Let me get rid of this thing first. How about we make a method that just returns the piece? Did I do something wrong here? Why don't we make a method called piece at xy, and it is supposed to return you know, the piece, whatever it is at that place, right?
okay. Yep.
No matter what color it is.
Right.
And that, because this is just kind of unwieldy to keep typing this everywhere. Okay, so we have piece at, kind of sounds like peace out. So then we say, we can say, oh, I shouldn't have deleted it, but, or what was it? What was it? Space occupied. Okay, so we can say, occupied by opposing piece x, y. And it would be space occupied xy. Is that how that thing works? Yep. And then it would be and piece at xy dot color. It's not equal to my color.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
But what if there is no piece at xy? Oh, but no. Because if we get here, if the space is occupied, that means there's something there, and so we're not in any danger of, checking for a color attribute on a nil. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
If there's no one there, this thing will stop. It'll stop right here, and return false. And so you'll never execute the rest of this code. But if there is something there, then it's going to examine that piece and look for its color. Does that make sense, what I'm putting here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's nice and Englishy. And then what's the other condition? So occupied by opposing piece, and then the other thing is we want to do, let's do occupied by my piece. Or what?
Yeah.
Good enough, right?
My color piece, or
yeah. Okay. My color piece. Space occupied and there. Okay, and then the other one will be this is kind of silly, but I'm very happy to do stuff like this, and I'll just do that. And I know that people say, why don't you just say not space occupied? And the answer is because I find it hard to read not space occupied in my brain. You know, it's much easier for me to read unoccupied. So look, so now we can do this up here.
Yeah.
We don't have to use piece already there anymore. We can just say this. We can say, because we got your three, you got your three conditions, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's unoccupied, then we're going to do something. Otherwise, if it's occupied by my color piece, then we're going to do something. Otherwise, there's really no need to do another else if, but anyway, otherwise, by opposing piece, then we do something.
Okay.
And so we can do, if it's occupied by my color piece, we return false, right?
Correct.
And if it's occupied by nobody, we do this. And if it's occupied by the opposing piece, this is where it gets a little complicated. I see. Then we do need the, then we do this. Piece at xy, but update attributes. We'll put this first. There.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that has to go before it, doesn't it? Okay.
So look how that reads. It's like, if it's not occupied, you move yourself there. If it's occupied by your own piece, you return false. What really we should do, since this is kind of like the weird case, is put it at the end. You know, there. So now it's like, if it's not occupied, if it's occupied by the opposing piece, yep. And then you have these little helper methods. I would make one, see, there's another thing here I would do, because this thing we're doing here to set x and y to nil, like because we're talking about it and we have like this tribal knowledge of how you're going to do this,
yeah.
you know, we feel like, yeah, that's how you indicate that somebody's gotten moved off the board. But why not just do this? You know, you can make a method and call it, you know, capture piece or something like that.
I like that.
Capture piece at XY. And then it's, and then you, yeah, and then all you do is this.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Just call that.
And now we can just say piece at XY. Right?
Yeah, I like that.
And now let's see how this feels. I want to move to this place. Is it unoccupied? Move me there. If you want to get like really nuts, we can do this. Move to. No, but you already, that's what the whole thing, we're already writing move to. Okay.
I like capture. Capture makes sense.
Okay, so we won't go any further. Yeah. All right. So if it's not occupied, yeah, update attributes. I don't think we need to make that a helper method. It's okay. Otherwise, capture the piece there. See, and you'll be like, well, what are they doing? And then you jump down and realize, oh, they're just setting it to nil. Yeah. And then move myself there. Otherwise, return false. Yeah, it's not bad. And then you can take these helper methods and move them down to the bottom somewhere.
Oh, excellent.
So they're not, you know. So then your test, let's see how, oh, so good. So you're kind of trying to simulate this scenario there, right? Okay, when the square is empty, and let's try to use the same language that we're using in the code. Okay, it does allow the move to the new coordinates. Yes, let's create a board, kill the pieces. Is this because when you create a game, it fills in all the pieces automatically?
Yeah.
It's got
and I got a question after we get done with this about that, but yeah.
Oh, I see. You have a fill board. Oh, wow, look at that.
Oh, yeah. So before, I don't want to like go too far ahead, but so I've been working with Brandon, and he was tasked to do with fill the board with all the pieces. Well, we got all the pieces to be filled on the board, and it's assigning the white user to the white pieces. But whenever a black user, a black user joins the game, he's not assigned the black pieces, and so
Okay.
I'm trying. Don't want to get too far ahead, but I just want to let you know what.
Okay. Cool.
It's a lot, though.
Yeah. See this. Anyway, yeah, we'll come back to it. Okay, so create a game, delete the pieces, create the king at 1/1. What's color true mean?
That is white.
Okay, so false is black.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're moving the king to up and to the right or something. Anyway, a legal move, and then
Somewhere.
and then oh, what a great test. Okay, this is a fantastic test. Let me create a little test window here to run it in. I bet I have to do this real quick. Oh, mayonnaise. Remember this?
Shoot.
I should have done this before you got here.
Oh no.
This will only take like 20 minutes. No, it won't. I don't know. Well, let me look at the other test while that's happening, while that's cooking. When the square is occupied with the same colored piece, a piece of the same color. Okay, it does not capture that piece. Okay, create the game, blah, blah, same thing. And then you're putting a bishop in that. Okay, I gotcha. These are great tests. They're very clear. When the square is occupied with a different colored piece. Create the game. Black bishop. Gotcha. Move there. Now you expect the king to be there. You expect these are fantastic tests. I like these. Did you write these, Connor?
Yeah, and I looked up how to write the way to write the RSpec test, and I guess they like to use context.
Yeah, sure. Instead of describe. Uh-oh, I'm losing your audio for some reason.
Yeah, they weren't that hard.
Okay. Oh, man.
Hello?
No, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh,
We
no.
went out for a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, while I'm waiting for this Ruby to brew, maybe let's go back to like the game model. And honestly, the way you guys are coming at this is awesome. I mean, I feel very happy about what I'm seeing. But like, here's the reason that you and I spent some time covering classes and how easy it is to make, or maybe was that you? Yeah. You know, like creating classes. What's the initialize method for? What's the instance variable for? And it's because of stuff like this. It's like eventually in your code, like one thing that new Rails developers tend to do is like if they have a project that has, you know, let's say your project has 10 models, like this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, some, you know, a few models, then sometimes these tend to be the only classes in the whole system. I mean, aside from the controller, like I know you have controllers and you have views and stuff like that, but like rookie Rails developers are a little bit, they tend to underutilize the fact that they could make a lot of other classes to help them do stuff. Maybe because they don't know where to put them. You know, like if you made a class to do something, sometimes people call them service classes or something.
Okay.
Like, where would you put that? So like one thing that is quite common is like this function here to fill the board with pieces. It's you can definitely argue that it could live in the game class, but because it takes up so much space, it's about 40 lines of code, and and it's just basically kind of ugly and cluttering up your model, I mean, it's nothing wrong with it, but
it is ugly.
but like you could make a class, and the class would be called Phil's Game Board.
Yeah.
And all that class would do is receive a game as a parameter and fill it in and give the game back. Like, that's all it would do. And it's nice because it would have like such a focused responsibility.
Yeah.
And then if you think about it, then you could write a test for that class that is so focused. Like your spec file would be very small and easy to reason about, because you would basically say, create this class, give it an empty game board, run it. Okay, I expect to see this on the game board.
Right.
And then
very simplistic.
Right. And so that's one thing. I mean, I think someone else wrote this, right? So we won't
Correct.
touch it. So I don't want to like come in and write on somebody else's stuff. But like,
yeah, he was really proud of it too.
Yeah, and
it's good.
It's nice. It does the job, and it's actually pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine. And then this little loop is clever, and yeah, I mean, it's great. I like that he didn't try to do things too cleverly. Sometimes people would put all these fancy loops in here. It's not necessary. Okay. And that was kind of just a waste of time just to get here, and now we can...
Yeah, cool.
What do you do again? It's like this, right? Local... Is that it, right? Yeah, what? I've never seen that before.
I know.
Have you?
No, I have not.
All right, well, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go back to the version of Ruby that I have.
Tried and true.
Well, I hate it because whenever, yeah, that'll work. Neo4R. Come on. All this work just to get to the test. Let's go back to that spec file. I love these tests. These are great. Okay, so we'll try the test on line 99. RSpec models game. Let's run that test with our new helper methods and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Ta-da. And then what are the other ones? Well, let's just run the whole file.
Okay.
Are they all passing as far as you know?
Yes. Yes, they are.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah. Isn't that a good feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think your tests are great. I think they're great. Yeah.
It took me a while. There's a lot of red, more red than green.
Well, that's how it's supposed to be. You shouldn't go straight to green.
Right.
This kind of thing will be second nature eventually. Now, what's interesting is if you like totally do not worry about this right now, and I probably shouldn't even say anything, but like just think about the fact that every time you create a board or you create a game like this, it is, let's think of how many times it's writing to the database. 32 times it looks like, right?
Oh, wow.
And so if you had tests that, like let's say you had 150 tests and each one needed a game board, then you're looking at 4,000 or 5,000 database creation writes. It's going to slow down your tests.
Right.
It doesn't really matter. Like that's why I'm just like totally do not worry about that. But that's one reason that experienced, some people just don't like callbacks. This thing. Every time you create a game, you call fill board, which is, callbacks are such a cool thing, but until you start to suffer in your test because you just want to test this one part of a game, and it's got to create like
Mm-hmm.
everything else, and you're like, and then I got to delete. So think about that. I got to create 32 things, then I got to delete all those things.
That's a good point. Wow.
But it happens so fast, and you don't have that many tests. I wouldn't sweat it. Just leave it alone.
Okay.
Yeah. What else do you want to look at?
Okay. So yeah, the just the problem where like I'll create a game and I'll go to the game.last and I'll find that game, and then I'll go to game.last.pieces and I'll look at all the pieces, and they're all assigning to white user ID the pieces that are true, which are white.
Okay.
So that's right, because the white players automatically created the game. But whenever I join on another account or another email and then I join that same game, and then I go back to that pieces, I guess it's not updating or something, because it's the black pieces aren't being assigned to the black user ID. It just says nil.
Is this something we can reproduce like in the browser if I fired up a server in a browser?
Yes.
All right, let's try that. So there's the server running. Oh, do I need to do like breakdb migrate? Probably, something like that.
I don't know if maybe it's...
Okay, good.
Oh, cool.
I'm surprised it even let me run the server. Sometimes it won't let you. Okay, let me share my screen, and let's fire it up.
Cool. I hope you like it. It's really simple.
And if it's simple, I already like it.
Yeah.
Oh, my stupid password manager is going to keep doing that. Okay, so we can just create a game. Oh, I got to sign in. Oh my gosh, I got to turn that thing off. It's just going to be so annoying. Okay, great. So we'll be nobody. Oh my gosh, he came back to haunt me. Nobody at example.com. And oh, I gotta sign up. All right. And all right. And we're in. Boom.
Yay.
Create a game. Phil's game. And we're in. That's awesome looking chessboard. Did you guys make that? Or
Yeah. It's the board's actually CSS tables, and then the pieces are just little images.
So I'm white. Like, can I move? I can't move yet because nobody's in here with me.
Yep. Well, actually, we got that far. We just kind of filled the board.
Oh, okay. Available games. Black is open. Okay, so I need to join again. I'm going to open an incognito window, and I'll join.
Oh, good idea.
As somebody else. Join again. Sign in. Sign up. And this will be a@a.com. Join a game. Here it is. Join the game. Okay, so now I'm in here in this window, and then over here, this is the original window. I wish my monitor was bigger. Oh wait, it's still telling me to join.
Is that updated?
Oh no.
Unprocessable entity. Yep.
Is that what you're seeing?
Did you refresh that page, or is it?
Oh, maybe not. Okay.
Oh, yep.
It says available games. Join a game. Join a game.
I guess we need to put that feature in where.
Okay.
All the games.
It's my bad. But how do I? Sorry, I went a little too fast. I think, even for myself. So let me sign out, and let me sign out of both. All right. So we're signed out. So on the left, we'll sign in as the first guy. Okay. So welcome to Camelot Chess, and I need to create a game, right?
Correct.
Okay, boom. And I got to give that game a name. So we'll call it, Connor.
Now, if you go to Rails console and you look at this game, you should see what I've seen.
Let's see. Okay, so game.all. Yep, I see it there.
Oh, there's the first game. Yeah.
Well, they're both there. See, there's two games.
Hmm.
So the last one is the one we just made. See the name, Connor?
Yep.
And then white user ID is 9, black user ID is nil. So it looks good, right?
Cool.
And it's got pieces. Yep, they're all in there.
Yeah.
So when the black user joins,
Well, actually, just do game.all.last.pieces, and it should show you like what the pieces are, you know.
okay.
And so they have the right color for that ID, which is 9. For that's the person that created the game.
I see. So we have 16 where color's true, and we have 16 where color is false, which is correct. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So that looks good. So so far no problem, right?
So now when you join with the black user.
Okay, let's do that. So now I'm gonna sign in with a@a.com, the second guy, and the problem I have here is I don't. Oh, join a game.
Sorry.
Okay. Available games.
There's the
Connor.
card.
Join game, and now I'm in.
Now if we go to the console,
Well, maybe I have to reload it. Well, anyway, what am I looking for here?
the game dot, just that last game, the pieces.
Okay. So we still have 32. We still have 16 that are black, and we still have 16 that are white.
Okay, and so if you just do the false pieces without the size, it should show you that it. I mean, there's no nil. It's no ID assigned to it.
Oh, no user ID.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Okay. And the white pieces don't have that problem?
Right.
Ah, gotcha.
Crazy.
Of course, you don't. I mean, mainly because okay. Well, so when the black player joins the game, where is that code? The join game code?
Okay, that is in my. Well, I mean, I think we wrote that actually the game controller, but we did write a piece controller.
Okay, game.
And
Oh yeah, join. Here it is.
uh-huh.
So here, all we're doing is connecting. We're not doing anything with the pieces, the black pieces.
Right.
We're just attaching the black player, and in a sense, it's a little weird to connect each piece to the user, but it's okay. It's okay.
Now, if you go up to the show, Brandon wrote this. I don't understand it, but it looks like it attaches the pieces.
Where?
So it finds the game, the current game,
Right.
and then it takes that game's pieces and it.
I think he's just making them easier to refer to in the show.
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't have to put this line. He doesn't have to use that. And in here, he could just do @game.pieces each, like this.
Oh yeah.
It's fine. But I like what he did. It makes it a little bit easier to reason about. But he's not attaching anything. He's just sort of assigning this instance variable to hold this collection of pieces.
Okay.
And what is he doing here? Finding the black player, the white player. Yeah, that's fine. So, I mean, all you need to do when you join a game is if you want to assign a user ID to every piece, which I don't really think you need to do that, but you're doing it. So all you need to do here is you can just put that code here, like right here where we're changing the user and then saving the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you could write a helper method called assign black pieces to current user, something like that.
Okay.
And then it would just be game dot
pieces dot color.
Well, how do you find your piece? It would be basically game dot pieces where, oh, is it like that? Where color's false, right? There is no color.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Dot needs to, and then you would just for each piece dot.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense? You would just change it right here. Piece dot. Let me go look at the piece dot user ID. Yeah, piece dot user ID equals current user ID. But does piece have an association with user? See, it doesn't. Belongs to the game.
Yeah, and someone took that out because it was messing up the test, and I don't know. So
if it said belongs to user, it's like, because it doesn't say belongs to user, it really makes me wonder, like, why you even need to do this. But I'm just saying, if you
right, yeah,
if you want to, because here's the thing, you've already got a game, and every piece is already assigned to either the black or the white player, right? Because every piece is assigned a color already.
right. But whenever it's first created, isn't it only assigned to the white user because that's the only user that's been in the game at that point?
Yeah, it is. But I mean, you already have. Basically, I'm saying you already have a way to get at all the pieces for each player without needing the user ID. Because,
oh, okay.
Because you can say, give me all the game's black pieces.
Right.
Like,
and it should all.
If you go to the game, assign pieces,
self. Oh yeah, and I don't know. I was asking him. I was like, what is this assign pieces? I've been like looking at this for an hour, and I don't understand what it does or where it's being used. Because and he's like, he's like, I think I was going to use that, but so it's not even being used right now. So I don't know why it's even there.
Oh, assign pieces.
Yeah, it was really confusing.
Yeah, it's not being called anywhere in your whole project.
Right, that's why I was wondering.
Oh,
I mean,
and what this does is this is going through, and yeah, this is doing the job of assigning those IDs. Like when you say game.assign pieces, it'll go through every piece and make sure that piece's user ID is set.
Right, and so that should be called after the join, right?
Yeah, or just, maybe you don't need it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you don't need it at all.
Because the black pawns, or the black pieces down below it on the fill board, it should be already self-assigning to the black user regardless. I mean, that's what it's intended to do.
Oh, this. Yeah. See, this, when you fill the black pieces, you're assigning this black user ID, but you're doing all this when you create the game, and sort of by definition, when you create the game, there is no black player.
Oh yeah.
So that's why this isn't working. I just wonder if you even need to keep track of the user ID on the piece. You really don't need to. I mean, it's not it's just complexity that you're gonna be managing throughout this whole project, and you really don't even need to keep track of every piece's user ID. If you have the piece's color, then you've got the piece's ID. Like let me show you what I mean.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Okay, so like every piece, let me go to a piece. You have a piece model, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if I want to know what my player is, how can I find that? Well, I can just do this. I can say, ouch. I can say game dot okay, so like this. I want to know who my player is or my user is, right?
Right.
Whatever you want to call that. So I can say if color, then what? Then I'm the white player, right?
Okay.
So,
So you're looking for either or.
yep. So I'm the, what is it? White user. Else,
Black user.
and that's it. And so every piece now knows his user, or you can name this player or whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Okay.
so you just don't need, and like that'll work without needing the ID to be set on any piece. You can just get rid of that column. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It makes sense, but I guess I keep on getting a little tripped up here. Whenever I see white user, I know we use that for the scope, but how is that? That's different than like a white user ID or black user ID, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Let's just keep going and let's just solve the problem so that just solve it so that when a black player joins, that I mean, we can just make sure that the IDs get filled in, since that's the direction y'all are taking, and you're working with a team, and they may have they may have a strategy for that. So I don't want to disrupt it. So let's just make sure that it's working. So we'll just go back here, and we won't put anything like that in. And so when you're in the games controller and you join, right here, you know, we can say set. I was already doing this, right? Set black pieces, or what's a better word? Assign black pieces to current user. And then, I had this all written out and I deleted it, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, no.
Anyway, it was something like
game dot
right.
pieces.
Game dot piece. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Okay. I want to put something on game real quick to help out with this. So like, think about it. You're always going to be wanting to know the black pieces and the white pieces, right?
Right.
So, but I don't think there's a scope for that in here. There's no way to get that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just make one, right? We can say black pieces, and this will return a collection. And how would I get the black pieces, Connor?
Okay. First, I guess you have to get the game, right? So,
well, because we're in the game already. So here's the game itself.
Oh, okay.
So how do I get the black pieces?
Okay. I guess we would have to go. We'd go pieces dot where, and then colors black false,
Yep,
and then
that's it. And then white pieces.
Cool.
And those are some nice convenience methods.
Yeah.
And now we can use them. If I go back to the games controller, you know, now I can say game dot black pieces, which is so much nicer. Dot each do piece, and then do the, what was it? User ID equals current user ID. Just like that.
I think what got us tripped up with going down this route in the first place was that I don't think we noticed that there's like a Rails automatically assigns an ID to the that I'm sorry, I'm getting that the pieces.
Yeah, every piece will have its own ID. Yeah. So let's see. The best thing would be to write a test to verify that this, like you discovered a failure through manual playing around and clicking around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever you're writing tests, a good, like sometimes you may decide like, well, we can't write tests for everything, so you have kind of like mediocre test coverage, which is fine. But then something may break in your code. It might be like an unexpected bug or something. That's a really good opportunity to write a test. And what you do is you write a test to expose that failure, and then you repair the failure to cause the test to pass. And so it's kind of like, I know that this exact bug is not going to reappear without me knowing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to comment this out, and then we can go to the games controller and
write an exposing test that fails.
Right. So like we have this, we have a couple tests here for join, and yeah. So like we can copy this block, and for the expectation, you could say it assigns all the pieces. What's a better way to say this? It sets all the black pieces. It sets the user ID of all black pieces to the current user who is joining. Just make it really explicit. So then you create a game with one player, create the black user, sign him in, and now we expect what? We expect
guess the game dot
first because we're just going to assume there's one game in the system. Game dot first dot black pieces dot first dot dot user ID to equal current user dot ID.
Oh my gosh.
So you grab the, oh no. We don't need to use game dot first. We can just say game, because we've already set it up here. Right?
Oh, okay. That's understood.
That's much better. We expect the, instead of first, we could just say take, whatever. We just take a random piece out.
Yeah.
We expect whatever piece we grab out of there, it should have the correct user ID set. Okay, so this is line. Does that test make sense to you?
Yeah, I think we might need to. Don't we need to reload?
That's a good question. You probably don't, because if we were checking something on game, we would need to reload, like an attribute of game. Mm-hmm. But because we're grabbing this collection, which is really an association, you don't really have to reload, because it's gonna do a fresh query right here, because up to here it has not pulled any black pieces out of the database.
Okay.
So you don't need to reload. I mean, it won't hurt to do it. It just sort of wastes time in.
Yeah.
So what line are we on? 48. Okay, so let's see here. Let's run this test. R spec. Oh gosh, controllers, games control. Is that right? So this is going to fail because I commented out that line. Undefined local verb method current user. What do you call the current user? Well, I'll just say black user. It's no problem, because it's right there.
Huh.
Expected 18 got nil. That's what we expected. And then we go back to the code, And I uncommented that, and now we're run the test again. And if it passes, that means like you've written a test to expose that failure. Oh, it's still nil. So it's not, we didn't fix it for some reason.
Got nil.
I wonder what's going on. I'm going to put a binding pry in here. Do you use binding pry or something else? Bug?
Yeah, well, we actually had to remove it because there is some bug with bundler. But
oh, so you don't have binding pry in?
no, yeah, we've been kind of.
Do you have anything in like that?
No, not currently. It's been kind of frustrating.
That's okay. That's no problem. Okay, run the test.
Yeah, I missed my bug.
I mean, without that, you're going to have trouble. Okay. Are there any black pieces? Yes, there are. How many? 16.
Oh, I love that.
So we know that's working. And then for each one, is there a current user? Yes, there is. Oh, you stupid person. Okay. Well, it's this simple.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Of course. It's what's that saying? It's always the simplest. Yeah.
Yeah, it's passing.
Wow, that was cool.
So now it's like that takes a little bit of extra time. It's very tempting because especially when the fix is really simple to just be like, oh, I'll just fix it. But it's like just write a test to expose the bug, and then write the fix. The test will pass, and you've sort of like double welded that leak. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you fixed it, but you also made sure that if it ever crept back in, you'd know about it.
Right.
And sometimes when you're writing software, you can kind of just take that approach. Like, I'm not going to go for massive test coverage as I create it, but for sure I'll test everything that fails. Like, it's like, and that's not bad. You know, it's like it means I won't ever reintroduce the same bug.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not bad. It's not bad. It's kind of like.
So do you do that for feature tests? Because I was trying to write some feature tests. I keep on messing up, but that seems useful for feature tests.
Yeah, it is. It is. Feature tests are great. They're really easy to write. They're just a little bit slow to run.
Use a capybara.
Yeah, capybara. Hey,
cool.
We can take more time later tonight, but I need to run right now. Is that okay?
Yeah, no problem.
What do you want me to do with this?
Could you do
the thing we normally do?
Pull request? Yeah.
Yeah. What do we normally do? I always forget. Okay, so I'll just patched up some tests for game. Good enough. And then I have a remote called Philip, and I can do git push. No. Philip capture logic. Will that work? Yes. And then how do if I do this, it's going to take me to your repository, which I don't really want to go to. Yep, I need to go to mine. Right? Oh, I have to sign in? Give me a break.
Oh, wow.
Oh, because I'm in the incognito window. That's why. All right, let me go to mine. PD Bradley, the night. Oh, just click on it when I get there.
One of these meetings, I need to take advantage of your Vim skills and see if you could do like a whole hour just showing how to do Vim.
I'm a Vim zealot.
It's cool.
I just love Vim, and I'm not even that great at it, but I sure love it. Okay.
All those key bindings just seem so useful. Like,
yeah, they
wow.
Are. Okay, capture logic. So I'll make a new pull request to the same branch, and I'll just do the same thing I always do. Connor, here is some of the stuff we worked on. And it should show up in your project, and you can just pull out whatever you want to. Yep. And
Awesome. Okay.
and it shows all the file changes here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is the kind of stuff I want you to love. Is these little tiny methods that are descriptive.
Yeah.
That help you. Then when you come back to your code, and I don't mean you should write code like this while you're solving the problem. Because really, that's kind of a pain in the neck. You just want to like bang out some code and solve the problem, but then you come back and you're like, okay, how can I make this tell the story? How can I make this so that anybody can just almost read it? And that's called refactoring. I mean, that's the very definition of refactoring.
Right. It's so that now the fixed method, the move to method makes, I don't know, it just looks better.
Yeah, it looks better. And your team will thank you. Or maybe they won't thank you. Maybe they'll think you're unnecessarily verbose, but subconsciously they are benefiting. Even if they never give you credit, they're benefiting a lot.
They were a little befuddled whenever they saw the method we used in the spec that for the create the game.
Oh, the thing at the bottom?
Yeah, they didn't see that before.
Well, you don't have to do stuff like that, but I inherited that from some reputable people, so.
Oh no, I love that.
All right, man. Okay, I gotta run. I'll upload this so you can you can watch it later. I don't know if you ever look at these recordings, but
I do actually. Yeah.
All right.
Very
you probably hate the way you sound, just like I hate the way I sound.
Yes. Yeah. I do.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Phil. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Okay, we can hook up later tonight for more if you need to. All right.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Bye.
All right. Have a good day.